Who is a better leader, Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance? And let's be fair, Trey's got a lot to prove. He's just taking the reins. But we've seen a glimpse, and we've seen a lot of Jimmy. How would you say? Who would you rank higher?
Well, I think you're right. That's still to be determined.
Like, let's
And
see how Trey handles adversity, yada, 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 all that kind of stuff, right?
yeah, I think that the thing about Jimmy that you do have to give him credit for is all his teammates, all his coaches do say he's a good leader.
Yep.
Now, I will give Jimmy that. Now, there are things as a leader, though, that from a fan's perspective that I see that are lacking, like holding yourself accountable in press conferences. It's always, we got to do better. We're not getting it done. There's never like, this one's on me. I'm a basketball coach. I say it all the time, even when I don't agree. Like, there's times where I don't think it was my fault we lost the game as a coach. But as the coach, I'm saying, yeah, that one's on me, fellas. We'll go out there and get it. And that's what you have to do as a leadership. So I can't give Jimmy an A+ leadership grade. It's also very easy to be a leader when you have success.
Yeah.
I need to see Jimmy struggle on a tough team, and then I'll be able to tell you whether or not I really think he's a leader. But I would give Jimmy a B. I think Trey Lance could be an A+ leader based on what I see, but that still has to be proven. So I think even with his teammates, they still want to see him prove it. They might, see what he's doing in practice off the field, and they're excited about it, but they want to see what happens when shit hits the fan if Trey Lance can really step up and be the leader that they hope he is.
See, to me, an A+ leader was Alex Smith. He never had a ton of support from the franchise, from the fans. When Harbaugh came up here, he didn't have a long-term contract. He was, I think, organizing camps before he'd even signed a contract. I think he was a free agent organizing camps for the 49ers during the lockout. He was a great leader. He was a great pro. I thought he was on a different level than Jimmy Garoppolo. I feel like what people liked about Jimmy was that he's down to earth. He's a bro. So he's cool to kick it with. You can party with him, go to Vegas with him. He'll take you out. He'll probably put things on his tab. He's cool. He's fun. Yeah. And he doesn't put himself, he's not weird, kind of like Kirk Cousins. What else do people like about him? He's professional. I'm sure he's very attentive in meetings, and he has that whole New England aura of like, this guy watched Brady and kind of knows what it should look like. But other than that, like, is he a leader? People say no one hears from him during the offseason. That's not, it's not a half the year job. Alex Smith didn't treat it as a half the year job. I don't think Trey Lance treats it as a half the year job. I have no idea what Jimmy Garoppolo does in the offseason. So
yeah, you're right about Alex Smith. He's one of my favorite Niners. Honestly, I couldn't stand early off watching him play quarterback. It was pretty bad.
So cautious.
Yeah, it was bad. When Harbaugh got there, that's what Alex needed. Harbaugh was huge for Alex Smith, and even though he ditched him later for Kaepernick, I still think Harbaugh really put everything together for Alex Smith, and we were able to see what he was capable of this whole time.
Yeah. Last thing, Bay Area Baller says, shouldn't a leader lead the team to wins? I always think it's funny when players are like along the ride. They're not like the bus driver, but they're on the team, and they get credit for leadership. Like, well, you weren't the best player on the team, but you did something, so you were a leader. No, I think the leader is probably the guy who led the team to the wins. So I don't know, like, how you feel about Deebo Samuel's social media, Deebo's social media activity, but on the field, he's literally leading them to wins, playoff victories, all that stuff. That's leadership. Hey, I want the ball. Okay, I just scored a touchdown. That's leadership. What a leader right there. I'll take that kind of leadership all day.
Yeah, there's multiple forms of leadership, and Deebo on the field is definitely a leader. Jimmy, through his play, in my opinion, is not a leader, but it sounds like his teammates really like him and will fight for him. So I got to give him credit for that.
It just feels like in basketball, when a team wins a championship and you're trying to find something nice about the fifth best player in the starting five, what do you say? Leadership.
Yeah.
Derek Fisher. The Lakers never would have won those championships without Derek Fisher's leadership, as he just stood there in the corner and watched Kobe and Shaq do their thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Robert Horry has 5 championships.
Leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership. Couldn't have done it without Big Rob.
we were debating. I was debating a buddy of mine about Draymond,
Yeah.
and all I was saying was, I like Draymond. Every championship team needs a Draymond.
Yeah.
But Draymond would be better, in my opinion, if he focused less on the refs and more on the game, and if he was more of an offensive threat. So people have to guard him. And
Yeah.
you see in the finals when he played like that the last game,
Yeah.
that's when he really started to shine.
Yeah.
And so, but anyways, because I was critiquing him, my buddy was like, "Oh, well, he's got 4 championships," and my response was like, "Robert Horry has 5."
Yeah.
Just because you're a champion, and he's a better basketball player than I ever will be. He's smarter about basketball than I am. But that doesn't mean you're above critique, and that doesn't mean that you can't do better. So that was kind of my argument in regards to Draymond.
Draymond has become just such a non-factor. Like, he will pass up open shots left and right. And before Durant got in the team and they won that championship, just the 3 of them, Draymond would hit open shots, take open shots. He wasn't passing things. They weren't playing 4-on-5 on offense. Like, his passing is very important, but he also needs to hit those open shots. And he did in game, what was it, 6? To your point?
Yeah, game
Yeah,
6, exactly. So when he looks to score, like, I don't even care if you make it, but you got to look to score, or no one's going to guard you.
Right. No one's going to guard you anyway. Right. But you're going to have wide open shots a few times a game. Like, can you get 10 points? Can you not just finish with 6?
Right.
Yeah. Giovanni says, Grant, do you see any difference from Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo in training camp progression-wise? Jimmy regressed every year. Yeah, Trey looks better. Trey looks like he knows the offense better. Jimmy never looked like he knew the offense better. Trey just tore up OTAs and minicamp. Jimmy never, ever tore up practice. I mean, Jimmy was almost like he was trying to make the defense look good. Like, he was just that generous. He was like, "Oh, it's okay. I got this. I'll make you guys look good today."
What did you see from Trey as far as going deep? It sounded like he was playing a little. He doesn't want to turn over the ball at all. We saw that North Dakota, but
it's hard to say. It seemed like a little bit at first. At first, he was trying to, as Kyle say, win the day. Have a good completion percentage. Don't do anything risky. That way, everyone says he looked good and played well, and you can give the stats. He completed 75% of his throws or whatever. But maybe they just weren't installing deep plays yet. Maybe Kyle wasn't calling those plays. But day 3 in front of the press, he threw a post and missed it badly. It was, I think, Ray coming right to left on a post. He missed it like over Ray's right shoulder. Like, didn't even lead him. It was bad. It was the first one he missed it, and I was like, "Hey, man," I wrote about it. I was like, "He's looked great so far, but he's only thrown 1 deep pass and missed it badly. Like, that's supposed to be a big part of what you add." The next day, he came out and threw back-to-back touchdowns deep. And he didn't look directly at me afterward, but it felt like it was in response. So anyway, it seems like he doesn't make the same mistakes repeatedly, and he is eager for people to say something, what he can't do, so he can come back the next day and show it. I like that about any type of athlete.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be huge for the 49ers and just me as a fan that Trey can open up the field, because I've been super frustrated with the way our offense has been, even with Alex Smith, but definitely with Jimmy Garoppolo, that we had that brief moment of Kaepernick, and Kaepernick would threaten to go deep. But when I watched Kaepernick, and, I was fortunate enough to interview Kaepernick when we first drafted him, he was a super nice guy to me. So I was a fan of him. But when I watched Kaepernick versus when I watched Trey Lance looks like a quarterback. Kaepernick looked like a baseball player, tremendous athlete playing quarterback.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about Trey Lance, but to me, he's got to open up the field and he's got to go deep. And
also,
I think
Kaepernick. Sorry. I was going to say, Kaepernick was always very proud of, like, I do it my way. I'm a little unconventional. I release a little funky. He's never held me back. I've had a lot of success. Leave me alone. Trey's different. Trey's like, I haven't played that much. I know I'm the most gifted dude ever, but I really want to do this the right way. I mean, it's a totally different mentality. Doesn't mean it'll be better than Kaepernick, but they're very different.
Yeah, I honestly, this is the most excited I've been about a season in a long, long time. I grew up, I was born in '79 in the Bay Area. So I got to see all 5 Super Bowls. I was really young for the first one. Obviously, I don't remember it. But, I got to see Joe Montana and Steve Young, all the DeBartolo years, Deion Sanders. Like, it was just amazing to grow up in that era. And I have been, I think part of the reason why I love watching your show so much, Grant, is because I'm honestly a jaded fan. Like, I'm a fan of the 49ers. But, when I was 17, I probably would have not liked the way you cover the 49ers.
Yeah.
But now that I have that as comparison to what they've been doing over the last 20 years, or at least since Garcia left. it's just been really frustrating. So for me, it's more entertaining. I want to critique these Niners because I want them to be better. And there's a lot of fans out there that, if you don't support the Niners 100%, you're not a real fan. But that's such BS. I come from an era where the Niners were elite, and I just want to see them get back there.
Yeah, and it seems like at least the last 20, 25 years, anytime they have a little bit of success, which is usually short-lived, everyone rushes to say, they're back. They figured it out. Jed York knows what he's doing. Maybe he deserves an apology. It's like, wait a second. Let him get a championship. Let him have some sustained success. I still remember when that's what the Niners stood for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
That's what I'm waiting for. Anyway, and I wonder if I would have covered the team like this in 1996, I think I probably would have owed them a little respect. Probably. But in 1996, I was 8, and I just wanted Steve Young's autograph. That's all I needed.
Right. Yeah. No, I was the same way. I went to Stanford football camp when I was a kid. I met Bill Walsh. I met Ronnie Lott. Like, those memories are just crazy. I got to race Ronnie Lott, 40-yard dash. He sprinted backwards. I sprinted forward. He killed me by like 20 yards. He told us a story about how he cut off his finger. Wow. Like, this is where I come from. These type of dudes, this elite high level, and I want to get back there. So I'm going to be critical of the 49ers until I see that come back to us.
Same. I appreciate that mission statement. I liked it. That fired me up.